Good afternoon, everyone. New for you at 4, the man involved in a shooting at a downtown Fargo hotel was sentenced today, 6 months after representing himself in trial and convincing a jury to acquit him of attempted murder. 56-year-old Henry Aiken now stands convicted of terrorizing, reckless endangerment, and unlawful possession of a firearm. Aiken has been in jail since November 2019 when the shooting occurred. Today he was sentenced to 3 years in prison. However, he will get credit for both time served as well as accumulated good time. Once released, Aiken has been ordered to spend 90 days getting a mental health evaluation as well as 5 years of supervised probation. Also new at 4, officials in the Northern Valley are investigating an early morning assault at a Grand Forks middle school. Police were called to Valley Middle School around 9 a.m. for a fight between 2 students. One was taken to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. At this point, no charges have been forwarded. Grand Forks public school officials say the school was put in lockdown for less than 10 minutes. Though officials are unable to release many details, the school says the fight was caused by a disagreement over something that happened over the weekend. Bemidji police are still searching for a missing girl, and now they're asking people in the Nymore area and south to Hubbard County Road 9 to check all outbuildings or any other area that could be used for shelter. Nevaeh Kingbird was reported missing in Bemidji back in October. Police say she was last seen in the area of Washington Avenue Southwest and Pine Grove Street Southwest, which is near Southview Terrace. It's believed she was wearing a black zip-up hoodie, blue skinny jeans, a white t-shirt or tank top, and black and red Nike sandals. A $1,000 reward is being offered if you submit any information about her disappearance through Crime Stoppers of Minnesota. To the forecast, the outlook for this week is a bit mixed. Summer is here with a first look. Summer?
Mixed is exactly the right word, Stacy. Right now we're looking at our Coronado Skycam where we're seeing a mix of sunshine and clouds, but that's not the mix we're talking about. Temperatures right now are primarily in the 40s. Devil's Lake warming up to 51 degrees at this time, and the wind starting to pick up in some areas out of the south or southeast. Sustained wind at 20 miles per hour in both Jamestown and in Devil's Lake, and it's only going to become gustier late tonight and through the day tomorrow. So tomorrow we're looking at windy conditions and some rain showers developing before transitioning to some mix and snow late. That's ahead of our first alert weather day for Wednesday. We're looking at windy conditions with snow and some areas of mixed showers, some slick travel, and some accumulation as possible as well. Right now we're seeing a mix of sunshine and clouds across the valley, but looking off to the west is our system just now making its way onto land in parts of Canada and northern Washington, and it will continue to develop as it moves towards our neck of the woods. So that first alert weather day in place for Wednesday and now extended into Thursday morning because it's likely that we could see some snow and travel impacts into Thursday morning as well. I'll have your hour-by-hour forecast and a look at potential moisture and just how windy we're going to get in just a little bit.
All right. Thanks so much, Summer. Senate Democrats want Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson to be the first black woman confirmed to the U.S. Supreme Court by the end of this week, but it may come with little support from Republicans. At the hearing today, bipartisan lines were drawn in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Committee Republicans voiced uniform opposition, citing judicial philosophy and criticizing her past sentences in child pornography cases. Democrats say they want to hold a final full Senate vote on Judge Jackson's nomination before the Easter recess.
I believe she will prove to be the most extreme and the furthest left justice.
If you are a criminal, you would be lucky if your case is assigned to Judge Jackson.
To say she's an extremist on crime belies the fact that she has law enforcement group after law enforcement group supporting her. These are just lies.
Jackson is expected to be confirmed with the full backing of the Democrats and at least one Republican, Maine's Susan Collins. The White House believes other undecided GOP senators could support confirmation. Condemnation of Russia is growing after it appears Russian soldiers left hundreds of civilian bodies in the streets. Some of the bodies had their hands tied behind their backs. Deborah Alfarone has the latest as the war in Ukraine stretches into its 6th week. We want to warn you, this video is disturbing.
Ukrainian officials say they have found more than 400 civilian bodies in towns around the capital, Kyiv. Many left in the street appear to have been shot at close range, some with their hands tied behind their backs, some burned, some hastily thrown into makeshift graves. This new satellite photo shows what appears to be a mass grave near a church in the town of Bucha. In the village of Kalinivka, Irina Kostenko says Russian soldiers killed her only son, Alexei. She brought his body back to their home in a wheelbarrow to bury him in the garden. The pain is so bad, she says. He was only 27 years old. This man says Russian troops opened fire on anyone in the streets without asking any questions. The situation is coming into focus after Russian troops retreated. Now humanitarian groups are helping those left behind. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky visited Bucha Monday to see the atrocities firsthand. He says dead people have been found in barrels, basements, strangled, tortured. He again called it genocide and said it makes it hard to conduct negotiations with Russia. President Biden called Russian President Vladimir Putin a war criminal several weeks ago and now says that's clear. He did not go so far as to say what's happening in Ukraine is a genocide.
This guy is brutal, and what's happening in Bucha is outrageous. Yes, I'm going to continue to add sanctions.
But so far, sanctions have not stopped Russia's offensive, and Russia's currency has rebounded. Russia calls the video of bodies from outside of Kyiv staged and fake. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
Among the activities at the 64th Grammy Awards, Ukraine's president took a moment to make his plea for American support. The Grammys, hosted by Trevor Noah, took place last night after a 3-month delay caused by the Omicron surge. President of Ukraine, Vladimir Zelensky, delivered a video message about Russia's aggression on Ukraine, saying, "Tell the truth about this war on your social networks, on TV. Support us in any way you can, any way but not silence, and then peace will come."
We defend our freedom to live, to love, to sound. On our land, we are fighting Russia, which brings horrible silence with its bombs, the dead silence. Feel the silence with your music. Feel it today to tell our story.
After Zelensky's speech, John Legend performed a song honoring Ukrainian citizens. Since the pandemic started, experts have warned of a mental health crisis facing American children that's now playing out at schools in the form of increased childhood depression, anxiety, panic attacks, eating disorders, fights, and thoughts of suicide at alarming levels. Many states have mandated teacher training on suicide prevention over the last decade, and the pandemic prompted some to broaden the scope to include mental health awareness and supporting behavioral health needs. Experts say child abuse and neglect increased during the pandemic, and for those who lacked technology or had spotty internet connection, the isolation was even worse. Many fell further behind academically and socially. Experts say many children bounced back after the extended isolation, but for others, it'll take much longer and require intervention by school administration. The United Nations Health Agency says nearly everybody in the world breathes air that doesn't meet its standards for air quality, calling for more action to reduce fossil fuel use. They say it generates pollutants that cause respiratory and blood flow problems and lead to millions of preventable deaths every year. WHO said 99% of the global population breathes air that is often rife with particles that can penetrate deep into the lungs, into the veins and arteries, and cause disease. They say air quality is the poorest in the Eastern Mediterranean and Southeast Asia regions, followed by Africa. Trading cryptocurrency has exploded in popularity, but criminals are taking advantage of the trend. The FBI says Americans lost about $1 billion in crypto scams last year. Megan Schiller spoke with one victim who was ripped off by someone posing as one of her friends.
It all started when a message popped up on Instagram.
I was like, it's $200, and that is a lot of money, but at the same time, like the little part in my brain was like, oh my God, if this happens, this is going to be awesome.
Natasha Reyna said a friend asked her to use the Cash App and buy just $200 in cryptocurrency. For the money, she'd see a huge return fast.
So I'm like, I could pay my bills, pay my car off.
The Better Business Bureau says it's a scam that's tripled in popularity. Cyber criminals hack into an unsuspecting person's account and target their friends because the trust is already there. Reyna said the person even gave her a link to watch her money start to grow. But then came a red flag.
$4,700. I made my money. I was like, now give me it. I want to withdraw this. And they're like, no, you have to reinvest $1,500.
Reyna stopped there and called the BBB.
Cryptocurrency scams were identified as the second riskiest scam last year, a significant increase from the 7th spot the year prior.
Raina feels lucky to only be out 200, but won't invest again without doing her research.
It could either be like really good or really bad. If you're going to do that, you should really educate yourself.
Megan Schiller, CBS News, Pittsburgh.
The BBB says most victims lose about $1,200. They say if you want to invest in legitimate crypto, only download apps from your Google Play or Apple App Store, and don't click on links that pop up during a routine Google search because that could lead you down the wrong path.